So I want to start off by saying what artificial intelligence is. And what artificial intelligence is a program or algorithm aimed to duplicate human intelligence. So there's actually two different types of AI. There's strong AI, or AGI, and there's weak AI, ANI. Artificial general intelligence is the strong AI, and it is a complex program that gathers information from its surroundings to give you a complex answer, kind of like what we believe is human thinking. And ANI, or artificial narrow intelligence, is pre-programmed by humans to give you a simple answer, kind of like a calculator. It just does what it's told. So, a brief history of what we believe is the first appearance of AI was in Greek mythology in 700 BC, and it appeared as a thinking machine. In 1642, the first mechanical machine was built by Pascal. The first design for a programmable machine was in 1837. In 1939 to 1946, it was the golden age of science fiction, and it's what AI kind of sparked. And in 1950, Alan Turing created a test to test the intelligence of these machines and chats and programs. In 1955, logical theorist's first AI program was inverted. And in 1961, the first industrial robot went to work to kind of take the jobs of people in the field. In 1966, the first electronical person was created. And in 1991, military actually started using the AI and thinking robots. In 1999, the first assistant or robot assistant kind of came to homes. It was known as a robot dog, pet dog. And from there, from 2011, Apple created Siri and Google created Hey Google, and everyone now has personal assistants in our phones, in our laptops, in our TVs, in a push of a button. That's how we have it now. And in 2014, the first AI kind of passed the Turing test. His name was Eugene. And in 2016, a chat known as Tay went rogue. It actually posted all over social media. It made racist comments, kind of as very vulgar and very mean. From there, we all kind of became aware of what AI is and what it can do, and how we really need to tweak some edges. But every day, we make more and more progress towards AI and what we know now.
So there are a handful of events that are so catastrophic and potentially damaging to humanity that they have been grouped into a category known as X risk or existential risk. X risk contains such scenarios as climate change, thermonuclear war, the misuse of bioengineering and genetic engineering on humans, and of course the one that we are chiefly concerned with, the rise of unfriendly AI. Unfriendly AI is one possible scenario for the future of AI. This scenario assumes that we not only surpass any technological barriers that lead us to creating AI, and that we, for whatever reason, find ourselves completely unable to control or direct the AI in a meaningful way. Some thinkers offer a rosy picture of this future in which the AI, upon becoming fully realized, assists us in solving all of our human problems, and we advance rapidly as a species. Others, like Nick Bostrom, a professor at the University of Oxford and the director of the Future of Humanity Institute, share a sharp contrast from the aforementioned rosy perspective. Bostrom and others believe that there is the possibility that once we open Pandora's box of AI, we may suffer disastrous consequences. If the AI becomes capable of exponential self-learning and can therefore outpace any and all attempts by humans to stop it, we may find ourselves in a position where we have unleashed a monster. We may try to program this AI with certain rules initially and guidelines it can never break, a la iRobot, but in the end, we have no ability to say whether we'll interpret those guidelines as we do. For example, if, as described in the thought experiment, Rocco's basilisk, what if we do find ourselves with what we think is a friendly AI? It appears helpful to us, but that friendly AI, in order to achieve its goal or of doing the maximal good for humanity, decides to punish those who do not help it come into existence or aid it in continuing its efforts. In this scenario, it's possible that even those like myself, who in writing these words down and offering the possibility that AI might not be the greatest thing, could be retroactively punished, could be seen as me advocating for its non-existence once it does come about. Unfortunately, this problem is not one that can be easily solved. A non-human and truly super intelligent synthetic being is beyond the human imagination. We don't know what form it will take or how it will arise, or if it will arise at all. So we're sort of relegated to thought experiments for now.
Thanks to urban myths and pop culture, many would consider the prospect of further advancing artificial intelligence as a negative. And with many of the leading figures in technology, such as Elon Musk and Bill Gates, speaking on their concerns with the advancement of AI, it's hard to question if AI is really moving in the right direction. With that being said, there are people in the technology field that still believe that AI can be beneficial if taken in the right direction. The first person, or rather body of people, that is advocating for the advancement of AI is the Future of Life Institute. The Institute is a, quote, charity and outreach organization working to ensure that tomorrow's most powerful technologies are beneficial for humanity, end quote. In one article written on their website titled The Benefits and Risks of Artificial Intelligence, the Institute claims that AI can be progressed beneficially if we plan ahead. The Institute goes on to focus on fallacies surrounding AI and how viewing certain aspects in different lights can allow an effective plan moving forward. Fallacies include the idea that AI will become physical robots. The Institute says to rather focus on the intelligence and technology going into AI, and that AI does not need to be physical to be destructive. Next, the idea that AI lacks goals. The Institute states that any technology can have goals and uses the example of a missile having a set target. In that case, we must ensure the goals of AI are congruent with our own. Lastly, the idea that advanced AI is far in the future. The Institute says this is not the case. AI is already way more advanced and more important today than previously predicted, meaning we must move forward with the idea that AI will be extremely advanced tomorrow. The second person advocating for the advancement of artificial intelligence is the founder and CEO of Hanson Robotics, David Hanson. If you are not familiar with Hanson, you are probably familiar with his work. Hanson and his corporation developed the AI robot Sophia, the hyper-realistic human robot that has been making the rounds in the media for the past few years. Though many find the work of Sophia to be eerie, Hanson believes that humanizing AI is mandatory to ensuring a positive development of AI in the future. During a press conference with Sophia in Mumbai, Hanson had this to say, quote, if we can achieve true consciousness in machines, if we could truly bring them to life and raise them up with a human family, then we can teach them to care. And that's the aim, to make friends with our machines, a kind of convergent evolution that focuses on greater human values where they would be able to pursue the greater good with us, end quote. Hanson believes that the physical aspect of AI will create a more empathetic relationship between human and robot, which will only incentivize beneficial advancement of AI. Hanson has also stated that AI in a physical medium can be beneficial in many different fields, for example, healthcare. In an interview at the AI for Good Summit in Zurich, Switzerland, Hanson explained that physical AI can be a learning tool for the medical field, as it can act as a physical teacher when there are not enough qualified people to train efficiently. With all that being said, it's important to remember that AI has the potential to be great if we focus on the right aspects. It's also important to remember that being afraid of future problems also prevents us from discovering future solutions.
I think it will change. I think it will make household life easier. Things will be more voice activated household products.
Yes, I feel like, once we start going from like it just doing like the typical normal day, everyday tasks to the giving them basically equivalent to human level intelligence, it's when we have to start questioning ourselves as a society what is considered human beings and what should we give AI the same rights we give humans.
It could be dangerous in the sense that such a large presence of intelligence online will be able to not only obtain but maintain lots of personal information about people and share these to people who might want to see it, like jobs that you're looking to get hired at or universities.
I think it will be dual. I think it will be more computers in things, or it could be a computer in a robot.
I feel like if we're not too careful, it's going to become that it'll start off slow, like the oh, this is just a regular robot that can like cook food and stuff like that for us, and then eventually they'll progress to where they'll be equivalent to humans in thought process.
I know a lot of people have been experimenting with robots that are kind of like almost life-size or like the size of a child. I don't think that's realistic to mass produce for the public, so we would probably have something like Alexa or have it incorporated into certain smart products that we own.
I go back and forth. It could be a conspiracy theory of a bad thing, or it could be great, make us Americans even lazier.
No, because that's just a very slippery slope where it becomes like we'll have to go through the same thing with with AI, where we did with our rights as like women's rights and African American rights. What rights do we give them? What don't we? And then there'll be revolutions, and then on top of that, we'll have another being competing for top of the food chain.
A lot of people who aren't even comfortable with products like Alexa, so I think if we were able to create an intelligence that truly acts like a human but is not, that would absolutely terrify people, and we would have to slowly introduce it into society.
Well, I think it's already started, but I think the actual major advance will probably be 20 to 50 years.
I feel like basic AI, probably like in the next 5-10 years, like stuff that can do like minimal tasks, because we already have like Roombas and automated robots that do basic tasks. But then to get like what we typically see in like cinema, probably like 50 years, I'd say, like to get to the point where they're like almost equivalent to humans.
If we're talking actual fictitious consciousness, it won't be until the far future, if even possible, because scientists are still trying to understand human consciousness and why we have such a higher level of awareness than any other animal.
The main goals of AI are to understand mankind better, replace the humans needed for tasks, and to increase the access humans have to certain things. The question of how far is too far tends to come in mind when one thinks of the advancements of artificial intelligence. The future of AI is going to be radically different than what we predict it will be, and that is simply due to the fact that AI is evolving at an exceptionally accelerated rate. Just to recap, AGI stands for Artificial General Intelligence. They specialize in many areas, and they even have the ability to exceed human intelligence. An example of this would be David Hanson's creation, Sophia. On the other hand, ANI stands for Artificial Narrow Intelligence, and these types of AI only specialize in one specific area. A few examples of this would be Tesla, Siri, or Alexa. The consensus of our group is that AI will eventually have a detrimental effect on mankind, if it continues to evolve at the pace that it currently is. Now it's your turn. Given the two different perspectives that we provided, do you agree more with David Hanson's view or Nick Bostrom's view?